In this video, I'm going to do another average value problem, except there's a little bit of a twist on example 3. And that is we want to find the numbers b such that the average value is equal to 6 over the interval from 0 to b. So we're finding the upper end of the interval. So to do that, let's use our basic average value formula, which is the average value is equal to 1 over b minus a times the integral from a to b of f of x dx. Okay, so we know what this is. That has to be 6. We know what a is. It's 0. So 1 over b minus 0 is simply 1 over b times the integral from 0 to b of the function 5 plus 16x minus 21x squared. So it looks kind of weird, but it's not so bad. Let's just keep going through and do what we can do. Well, we can integrate this with no problem. All right, so we have 6 is equal to 1 over b times 5x plus 16x squared over 2 would be 8x squared, minus 21x cubed over 3 would be minus 7x cubed. And this is being evaluated from b to 0. All right, so now let's find f of b. So 6 is equal to 1 over b, and so we want to go through and find 5b. So we're just substituting b in here. We're doing f of b minus f of 0, where f is the antiderivative. The antiderivative at b minus the antiderivative at c. We're using the fundamental theorem of calculus. So we have 8b squared minus 7b cubed minus f of 0. Well, all of these become 0. So that simplifies things a little bit. All right, so I guess I'm going to ignore this. And let's continue. So what I can do now, which is nice, is I can cancel out some b's. So I can, when I multiply 1 over b through everything, okay, using the distributive property, I get 6 is equal to 5 plus 8b minus 7b squared. We have a quadratic formula now. So let's solve this as a quadratic formula. So we would have 0 is equal to negative 1 plus 8b minus 7b squared. I don't like all those negatives, so I'm going to change it to 7b squared minus 8b plus 1 equals 0. So this can be factored, but to factor it, we need to look for factors. I'm going to use the AC method, which is we take the 7 times the 1 and get 7. I'm looking for factors of 7, which would be 1 times 7 that add to 8. So they both need to be negative. So I'm going to replace 7b squared, the 8b, with minus b minus 7b plus 1. And now I'm going to group, doing grouping. And that third term is a negative, so I like to include that negative sign in the parentheses. Factoring out a b, we have 7b minus 1. Factoring out a negative, I have 7b minus 1. All right, so there's a 1 really out here. So my factors are b minus 1 times 7b minus 1. And we set those both equal to 0. And what we get is b equals 1 and b equals 1/7. And those would be our answers to this problem. Those are the values of b. Let's go back up to the directions. The values of b such that this is equal to 6. All right, so if you did not understand this factoring, you may want to find a video. The Organic Chemistry Tutor is a great place to look for some examples of tutoring. This is factoring trinomials where the first term, the coefficient of the first term, a, is not equal to 1. And this is called the AC method. All right, hope you enjoyed the video.